And there must be something in the air in the Midwest, aside from the occasional skunk. Hello, Happy New Year, and welcome to what is becoming an annual tradition in which I reveal the top 10 states that watch this channel throughout the year. Why do I do this? Well, because the overwhelming majority of my audience are Americans, and I just get this nerdy satisfaction over mapping which US states I'm most popular in. It's a vanity project. And since the channel has gained about 125,000 new subscribers since this time last year, some of you might be thinking, isn't it obvious which states watched you the most? Surely it's the ones with the highest number of people. And sure enough, if we do go by that metric, the likes of California, Texas and Florida certainly dominate proceedings. But to make this competition fair, and it is a competition, more on that in a moment, here's what I do. I take the viewing figures reported for each state in YouTube Analytics, and then calculate that figure as a percentage of each state's population. Basically, the state with the highest percentage wins. And that brings us on to the competition part, because beginning today, I'm turning this into the Pond Championships, in which all 50 states throughout the year compete to be my #1 viewer. Now, before you say something like, that's really self-serving, Lawrence, there is a prize involved for the winning state. And the prize is the newly formed Lawrence Brown Trophy. That's really self-serving. But, you know, it does come with Lawrence Brown engraved on the front of it. This was a wedding gift, but I no longer drink as of a year ago, so I don't need a German beer mug. Basically, we couldn't afford a real trophy, but for now, this is the placeholder. And the 3 previous winners will be retroactively engraved onto the Lawrence Brown Trophy. And so now that the stakes are well and truly raised, it's time to find out who made our number 10. That's right, making its 4th consecutive appearance in the top 10 is Utah. And to you, I say tar, which is British slang for thank you. It should be noted that Utah just barely scraped into the top 10, having finished 3rd, 4th and 8th in the previous Pond Championships. And I've been to Utah and I really enjoyed it, with the exception of the moment that I was stung by a wasp. And it seems pretty likely that my 2018 visit to the state is the reason that it's up there, so let that be a lesson to you all. If you want your state to perform well in the Pond Championships, make sure that I visit it and make a video out of it. I've just realised that's out of your control. Be that as it may, there are plenty of states in the top 10 who may or may not have benefited from a conflict of interest, including number 9. Yes, Indiana, the Hoosier state, a state that I lived in for 8 years, produced more views for my channel than 41 other states. And I can hear other states now, ooh, that's not fair. Your wife's family members all live there and all they do is watch your channel. But firstly, they've got better things to do. And secondly, bear in mind that Indiana only just scraped into the top 10 last year at number 10, and the previous 2 years didn't feature in the top 10. So it hasn't all been soy fields and sunshine. There's been a little bit of corn involved too. Anyway, hold on to your hats. Here's number 8. Yes, hello once again to the people of Michigan, and well done once again on another hard-fought year. This is the 4th consecutive time that you've made it into the top 10 of the Pond Championships. Who knows, maybe one day you'll get the Lawrence Brown Trophy. Come to think of it, I could just send it across the lake in a canoe. Michigan is one of those places, due to its proximity to where I currently live, that I have visited on numerous occasions, and I'm never shy to reveal to people my favourite fact about Michigan, which is that it has more lighthouses than any other state. I'm from a coastal town in England. This is big news. So thank you, Michigan, and be sure to mish again in 2022. Colorado, you are a strange anomaly that I still haven't been able to work out. You have made it into my top 10 3 years out of the 4, and I don't know why. I'm not saying you shouldn't be here, it's just that with all of the other ones I can sort of reason as to why they're there. Utah has an enormous concentration of English ancestry. Indiana and Michigan, like me, are both in the Midwest. But you're just doing your own thing, and you know what? I applaud that. You're not afraid to say to the rest of America, I don't need a special reason for liking Lost in the Pond. We just appreciate a YouTube sensation when we see it. And those aren't my words, they are my words. Now, I should disclose I have actually visited Colorado, but this is in the days before my YouTube channel when me and my camera weren't joined at the hip, so I don't have any film footage from it. All I have is a not great photograph. And I know what you're thinking, that looks cold, which is the perfect segue into number 6. That's right, we come back to the Midwest, and over the years of interacting with people on my YouTube channel, I don't have any data for this, but Observationally, it feels like 1 in 2 people are from Minnesota. And I've always wondered what that's all about, and then I thought about it and realized Minnesota is the land of 10,000 lakes. It's just the funny thing is, as with Colorado, I don't have any video footage. And that's because, aside from a visit to Minneapolis-St. Paul Airport, I've never actually been to Minnesota. And yet, thankfully, here you are 4 years in a row in my top 10. On the other hand, in 2021, one state made it for the very first time and flew all the way up to number 5. Yes, Pennsylvania. It's almost as if I visited the state for the first time this year and made a video about it that a lot of people watched. But I am glad you've made it, particularly because, you know, with all of these sort of Midwestern states, it only feels right that my channel has been well watched in a state that is steeped in English history. And from Pittsburgh to Philadelphia and everything in between, I'd say that my visit to Pennsylvania will probably always stand out in my brain when I think of 2021. Come to think of it, the competition isn't particularly strong, but well done, thank you, and welcome to Pennsylvanians who made this happen. Because, you know, every state has to start somewhere when it comes to the Pond Championships. And 5th place, frankly, is a remarkable effort. On the other hand, for the state that finished 4th, this is becoming par for the course. That's right, for the 2nd year in a row, the state that I'm speaking to you from has finished in 4th place. On the one hand, that feels like cheating again. On the other hand, I'm just glad that we didn't finish top because, you know, imagine the meltdown on Twitter. But I really do like living in Illinois, and this year I discovered that there's stuff outside of Chicago, including Route 66 and Starved Rock State Park. And on top of all of that, this state gave us the late great Betty White. And in 2022, I do look forward to seeing more of Illinois and consolidating its position in the top 4. That's right, Ohio, and there must be something in the air in the Midwest, aside from the occasional skunk. And that's because for the 2nd year in a row, Ohio has finished at number 3. And just like with Michigan, this is a state that I visited on numerous occasions, and I suppose the appeal of my channel to Ohioans could be the Midwesternness of the whole thing, or it could be because I turned my back on Indiana. I haven't got to the bottom of that. What I do know is this is Ohio's 4th consecutive appearance in the top 10. And in all but one of those, it's featured just 1 place behind another O state, which brings us on to our runners-up. Yep, few states have been more successful in the Pond Championships than Oregon. Many, of course, have attributed this to the British-like weather that they see in much of the state. That said, I'm not really sure what that says about my channel. And to this day, I'm not really sure why so much of Oregon's population is watching my channel. Could it all just be the same person watching my videos on rotation 24 hours a day? Please, if that is you, don't answer that. I want to sleep tonight. But I've always said that Oregon is a place I'd love to visit, and now that the state has finished runners-up in the Pond Championships 2 years in a row, it sounds like I might actually be welcome there. I hope I'm not speaking too soon. It is now time to reveal the winner of the 2021 Lawrence Brown Trophy. Right, I might not be welcome in Oregon after this. For the 2nd successive year and for 3 years out of the 4, your champion of champions is Washington State. In the 4-year history of the Pond Championships, Washington has never finished below 3rd place. I mean, Washington State is the Lost in the Pond viewership equivalent of the New York Yankees or any team that's won a bunch of stuff. And once again, the bewildering thing for me is I don't have any real connection to the state outside of a 10-minute visit to Spokane and Seattle Airport. It's almost as if the Pacific Northwest, as well as having British-like weather, has a British-like sense of humour, possibly informed by the weather. Either way, this remarkable run continues, and I'm delighted to present the Lawrence Brown Trophy to the state of Washington. I'm not going to mail it to you because it'll break, but I hope you enjoyed the sentiment nonetheless. In truth, no matter the state that you're in, whether that's mental or geographic, I just want to sign off today by thanking everybody in the United States and throughout the world for making 2021 another insane year for Lost in the Pond. And it simply remains for me to say, I'll see you next year. It's an old one, is it? Right.